Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Let's start with the weekly outlook for gold, NAS100 and euro dollar. So I'll just share my screen and we'll have a look at that. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, we have the weekly chart of gold open. Let's start marking the structure. I'll do a fresh markup so that every one of you can see and learn along with me. The weekly swing structure is bearish. Weekly weekly swing structure is bullish, weekly internal is bearish. If you notice, price mitigated this weekly fair value gap, and now our draw on liquidity becomes this swing point of the weekly time frame, which is this buy side liquidity, and then the other one is this buy side liquidity. So these are the two liquidity points which are the draw on liquidity. So over a period of time, this is a weekly chart, so it can take months to reach there. And we're not going to trade on a weekly time frame. This is just an outlook video for you. Over a period of time, we can expect price to do this, but this is going to take weeks or months to do. So this is what the weekly structure is showing us. Let's just keep an eye on the weekly fair value gap. There's a bearish WFVG here. Let's keep it on our charts. Now let's go and check the 4-hour time frame on what's happening. On the 4-hour time frame, if you see, our order flow is extremely bearish, and while doing that, we had created this buy side liquidity, which price has tapped onto. And while price was tapping on to it, it also mitigated this H4 FVG. So the order flow is bearish, liquidity engineered, price moved up. If you look at our H4 swing structure, our swing structure is bearish. We tapped on to the highs and we're given a rejection. What do we have here? We have an H4 FVG right here, which could be the drawn liquidity for further lower prices, unless price in the next week creates a bullish swing structure, then we could start looking for longs. Currently, I am only interested in shorts. So this is the weekly outlook for gold on the H4 time frame. This is what it looks like. Now let's go and check out NAS100. On NAS100, the swing structure is extremely bullish. This cannot get more bullish than what it is right now. Let's look at the fair value gaps. Oh my God, have a look at this. The fair value gaps are insanely wide. We have this huge chunk of weekly fair value gap within our swing leg, and our internal has also delivered bullish in the last week. So this is what it looks like. Over a period of time, we can expect that in the next few weeks, price can come and tap onto this WFVG and give a move to the upside. However, instead of predicting that the weekly would turn bearish on internal to mitigate the weekly fair value gap, let's go and check what H4 structure looks like. So on the H4 time frame, if you see, this is our recent most structural leg, which is H4. It is clearly bullish. So currently we can assume that price would continue going higher unless we are proven wrong on it. And there is this H4 FVG, which also has a nice sell side liquidity engineered here, which is our SSLQ. So what we can expect in the next month, next week, is price coming down to this H4 FVG. And if this H4 FVG proves to be holding, we can again see higher prices up to this H4 buy side liquidity on the upside. So wait for the SSLQ to get taken out, then hunt for PSLQ. This is what NAS100 is showing us. Now let's go and check out euro dollar. On euro dollar, what's going on? On the weekly time frame, we swept the highs here. So buy side liquidity taken out, shifted bearish on the weekly time frame, which is this. So we took out the buy side liquidity, we shifted bearish on the weekly time frame. We had this weekly fair value gap, which price has shown to have been respecting. And now, once this weekly fair value gap was mitigated, we had a bearish move to the downside. And if you see, there is another weekly fair value gap, which was formed as a result of the bearish continuation, and price seems to be mitigating this in the last week. Now let's go and check out for H4 structure. In H4, what was going on? Now hear me very carefully. H4 was bearish. H4 turned bullish in the last week, right? H4 turned bullish. But do you think we should be taking long trades or having a long bias in the coming week? I would say no, because if you look at the weekly time frame, what have we done? Swing structure bearish, price mitigated the weekly fair value gap, gave a bearish initiation, delivered a new weekly fair value gap, and again prices mitigated this weekly fair value gap. So in order to mitigate this weekly fair value gap, price had delivered bullish on the H4 structure. So this is why I don't trust this H4 structure. What I would rather test out in the next week and wait patiently for is either H4 shifts bearish, then everything gets very clear, it mitigates, and then we start hunting to the lower side. Or if there is an H4 change in the state of delivery, which is H4OB, sorry, H4OB, then also I can start taking slightly riskier trades to the downside. The most risky trade, which I don't advise, is we can also look for a short opportunity right at this H4 FVG once it gets converted into an H4 IFVG. Why? Because we are delivering from the weekly fair value gap. There was a volume here. There were buyers here who got induced, mitigated the weekly fair value gap. We trap the buyers, invert the fair value gap on H4, and then hunt for lower side. So this is what euro dollar outlook looks like. I am only looking for shorts. There's a nice sell side liquidity engineered, buy side liquidity taken out, mitigated weekly fair value gap, and now we hunt towards the SLQ in the coming period. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in case you have any questions or comments. I'll be happy to reply to you guys on the comment section. Thank you and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.